Okay, good morning and welcome to our fourth and final recipe of our October mixed bag. And for this final recipe of our autumn almanac, we are going full on extravagance. These items, ingredients are very much from the gourmet end of the supermarket, although you can find cheaper and easier alternatives if you want to. So let me tell you a bit about it. It's a French dish, but with a strong Italian influence. And the reason for that is it's because it's about the story of two men. The first is French chef, the first celebrity chef really, Antonin Carême, first quarter of the 19th century, who was the chef to emperors, to kings, to czars and to the rich and famous. And one of the people who was both rich and famous was the Italian Gioacchino Rossini, the Italian composer from Naples, mainly of opera, but also very much a lover of food, music and women, and I'm not sure in which order. But one time on a visit to Paris, Rossini was very keen to have something made of the most expensive ingredients he could find, and once he'd selected what he wanted, he then proceeded to go into the kitchen and discuss with Carême how exactly this dish would be prepared. That's not a conversation that was probably easy to listen to. But let's see what ingredients he chose and what we're going to cook. So we have some French brioche, but you can use sliced bread or bun, mini burger bun or something like that. Some onion, some fillet steak, some pate, butter, flour, a beef stock cube, a truffle, some parsley, and then we have I've got Moscatel wine. Should really be Madeira, but not easy to get here, but a sweet wine of some kind. Some red wine, some Worcester sauce as always, some olive oil, salt and pepper. And what we're going to make today is steak Rossini. So our equipment this week is a chopping board, a knife, a bowl or a jug, a wooden spoon, a whisk, a frying pan and a saucepan. Right, so most of the action today is going to be in the kitchen, but let me tell you now what it is we're going to do. A bit like the trifle last week, this is a dish created in layers. In our case we've got 4 layers plus a sauce to pour over, or if you're very fancy you put the sauce on first and then build it up, but I prefer my sauce on the side that you can pour over. So the layers are, the first layer is our bread, which we're going to toast, or I'm actually going to fry it in a little bit of olive oil, so that goes at the bottom. Then on top of that we have a slice of fillet steak, again fried to your liking, whether rare, medium or well done. Then the third layer on top of the steak is a slice of pate. Now you can use the traditional original recipe was pate de foie gras, but obviously that's not always either available or desirable, so you can use any kind of, I would say duck pate is a good substitute. So 1, 2, 3, and then on top of that we have some very little shavings of truffle. Now if that's either hard to get or outside your price range, use some mushroom, just slice some mushroom very thinly and put that on top as well. So there are 4 layers. And then, as I say, we're going to make a sauce. So I've got my butter and my flour to make a roux. I'm going to fry some onion in that first when we get into the kitchen. I'll show you that shortly. And then we have our stock, which is our beef stock. And to that I'm going to add my Moscatel, or as I say Madeira, and a little bit of red wine, not too much. And a dash as always almost, of Worcester sauce. So that's basically it. Mix that all around. And as I say, everything else now is all done very quickly at the last minute in the kitchen. So let's check the ingredients again and I'll join you in the kitchen shortly. So our ingredients this week are around 300 grams of fillet or sirloin steak, 2 brioche buns or sliced bread, a tablespoon of olive oil, 30 grams of butter, 50 grams of flour, 50 grams of finely chopped onion, 100 millilitres of beef stock, 50 millilitres of Madeira wine or port or muscatel, 30 millilitres of red wine, 150 grams of pâté, some truffle shavings if you can, some chopped parsley, salt and pepper. Okay, so as I said, most of the work today gets done in the kitchen, but thankfully it all gets done in about 5 minutes. So as long as it all goes to plan, this is what we're doing. So I've got my butter melted in a pan there with the onions fried. So I've been frying the onions up for about 5 minutes just to get them nice and soft. And I'm going to add the flour to that. Mix it all in. So we've got a roux there. And then we're going to add the stock we prepared earlier. A little bit at a time. So that we can keep control over it and it doesn't get too runny. Some people like their sauces thicker than others. That's looking good. You need all of this in, so I think it should be enough. So now you've got a brown thickening sauce. So that's more or less done. I'm going to put that literally on the back burner now. And now I'm going to do the stack. So I'm going to do just one portion, one stack for you tonight, but a portion would normally be 2. But here we go. So we've got, first thing we've got is our piece of steak. I'm doing that first. It's not the bottom of the stack, but it's you need to let it rest a little bit after you've cooked it, the steak. So let me just put the heat up on that. So this very much now depends on how you like the steak cooked. We like ours fairly rare, so probably about 1 minute or 2 minutes on each side. If you like it well done, probably about 4 minutes on each side. If you like it medium rare, then 3 minutes or 2 minutes on each side. And all I did was just spray a little bit of olive oil into the pan for the steak. So that's cooking, and while that's cooking, I'm going to add the second, or my bottom layer, which is our brioche, and put that in the pan as well to heat up. So we've got our steak and our brioche cooking away. Don't forget to give our sauce a little stir. It's looking fine. I'll add a little bit more of the stock. Okay, so as I said, you don't have to use fillet steak. It's the best because it's the softest from that point of view, and therefore the most expensive. But you don't need a lot of it. So that's starting to sizzle nicely. The brioche also warming up. And now we're going to add our pâté, which we're also going to fry. If I had a bigger kitchen, I might do that in a separate pan with a little butter rather than with olive oil, but it's even healthier like that. So we've got the 3 layers of our tower coming up, and we've just got the little truffle to add at the end. Okay, so the bottom of the pile is our toasted brioche. Hopefully you can see that in the light. Then to that we're going to add our steak. And then on top of the steak, we're going to add our pate, and on top of the pate, a little bit of truffle. And that's basically it. Simply going to add our Madeira sauce, pour it over the top, and our dish is complete. There we are, steak Rossini. See you next week.